Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Stedman. In this video I want to teach you how to crochet this beautiful baby blanket. It's a combination of some stitches and it looks amazing, and I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're gonna need to make it. To make this baby blanket I'm gonna use this Factory Mills N. It's 100% acrylic, medium 4, 1 pound, 16 ounces or 454 grams. The crochet hook is 5 millimeters. You're gonna need a netting needle of 25 millimeter US 50 or a ruler to do the broomstick lace stitch, and tapestry needle and scissors you're gonna need. You're gonna make 3 panels that we're gonna sew together to create our blanket, and the design will be like this. It's a beautiful design. First we do the center and then the side. So for mine for these two I did 35 chains and I created 7 of these motifs for 30 rows, and I did 2 exactly the same. But if I do the third one exactly like this, it will be too wide my blanket. So what I'm gonna do is these 2 I'm gonna put it in the side and create a smaller one for the inside. But if you want these to be the 3 panel exactly the same, I recommend to do a chain of 25 or a chain of 30 or 35, depend on the width that you want for your blanket, okay? But for mine I'm gonna do a smaller one in the center. So it's very easy to do and it looks amazing so far. So let's start making our blanket. For these 2 panels that I already made, I used 2 of my ball of yarns, and I have this left over from those 2. So I'm gonna use my third one, and maybe I will need more yarn to do a nice finish all the way around. So we're gonna start with a chain. So if you're doing your blanket exactly like mine, you have to do 2 panels of 35 chains. That is 7 of these groups, and then a smaller one for the center. But they will be exactly the same as the one I'm going to show you now. Okay. So if I knew when I started they're going to be that wide, those 35, I will have made them of 25 instead. That way I have the 3 of them the same size. So I'm gonna do my chain. So it has to be multiple of 5. I'll do from 20 to 25, and if you do this blanket exactly like mine, you have to do 2 panels of 35 and 1 small. I'm gonna do my center one with 20 chains, so it will be 4 of those groups. So if you're making this bigger or smaller, you have to have multiple of 5. So here is number 20, and the last loop that is on my hook, I'm gonna pull it to make it bigger, and I'm gonna pass my netting needle through that loop. So you will do it through the netting needle or ruler, whatever you're using to create these loops. And then I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna pass my yarn through, create a loop, and pass it again to my needle. If I have 20 chain, I have to have 20 loops, and I'm leaving only 1 strand of yarn in here, okay? Usually the first row is the one that is a little more difficult to cast on our netting needle. After that is very easy. So you're going to continue passing those loops through the chain and through your netting needle. And remember, they have to be multiple of 5. I'm going to continue doing this off camera, and I'll show you how you're going to continue, okay? Here I have my 20 loops. They will look like this. If you make more, you will have more. But you have to have the same amount of loops of chain that you did. Okay, so for mine were 20. So now we're gonna pass the yarn to the back. I'm gonna grab it here in the back, and I'm gonna pass my first 5 loops on my needle. Here I have my 5. I bring it to the center. I'm gonna wrap around my yarn. I'm gonna pass it through and chain 1. Okay, and you don't count that chain. So you're gonna remove those 5 loops, and then here you're gonna do 5 single crochet. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you created your first design. Okay, so now you're gonna go grab the next 5, always with a strand in the back, and now you can remove all your loop from your needle. So now you have this 5 loop plus this one in here. So you're gonna pass it through, and you're gonna pass your yarn through those 5 loops, and you have 2. And this single crochet that you're gonna do here counts as the first one for this group in here. Okay, so this is 1, and then you're gonna do 4 more. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you have your second stitch. Again, you're gonna grab the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and again you're gonna pass your yarn through those 5 loops. You had 2, and you're gonna do your first single crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you have your third one. And for me, I'm gonna grab my last 5. So if you have more, you will have to do some more of these. And my last 5, and again pass my yarn through. That's 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You always have to have your 5 single crochet on the top to replace those 5 loops. Okay, so, and when you have a little bit longer, what you do is you pull that one in the other side and make them even. Okay, so now we're gonna start row number 2. After you finish row number 1, you go to row number 2. You will have 1 loop, and you're gonna pull that loop to make it bigger, and you're gonna pass it through your needle, and you're gonna tie it a little bit to make exactly the same width. So now you're gonna go to the next single crochet, and you're gonna pass it through this one here. Already have that one, so you go to the next one. You're gonna pass your yarn through and create a big loop and pass it through that needle. You have 2. Go to the next one. You have 3. The next one, you have 4. And go to the next one, and you have 5. So now I have my 5 loops that I need for that stitch here. Okay, you always have to make sure that you have 5. It's very easy to skip one, so you have to be very careful when you are pulling the yarn, because you don't can pull 2 strands from the same little hole, because it's impossible. You see, if I pass it here to try to pull it, I'm pulling the same strand of yarn. Okay, but it's very easy to skip one. And 2, when you're doing this single crochet, it's very easy to do an extra, and sometimes to do 1 less, to do 4. So you have to be counting, always make sure that you have 5 loops for each stitch and 5 single crochet when you're doing the single crochet on each 5 loops. Okay, so you're gonna continue doing this all the way to the end, making sure you are counting exactly the amount of loops that you need. For mine, it has to be 20. Once you finish, you'll have your 20 loops again, or the amount that you are working with. You're going to bring your yarn to the back. I always bring my yarn to the back and hold it here. Okay, nice and short in here. And I'm going to grab my 5 first loops. That is 5. Go to the top and pass my yarn through and chain 1. And then remove those 5. And again work my 5 single crochet in here, and like these 2 rows you're going to continue working for 30 rows. If you want it longer, you do more. If you want it shorter, you do less. But for mine, there are 30 rows at this design, 30 of this design. Okay, after that we're going to be working on the side, and first we do one and then the other one. And like this, you're gonna do 3 panels. Okay, the same way you're working these ones. More loop, last loop, but the same. Okay, the same way. I'm gonna show you one more time. I'm gonna grab my 5, remove the rest from the needle. That way it's easier. And I'm gonna pass my yarn through. I have 2 loops. Counts as the first double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and like that you're going to continue until you have 30 of these. When you finish, it will look like this, your second row. So you see here, when you finish, you have already your loop. Just pull it and you make it bigger. Just pass through your needle, and here you see you have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that one 5 for this group, and 5 on top of each one of them. Okay, it's very easy. Here I'm working in the 30th row, and it will look like this. And for me it's narrow because I'm doing the center one, but you have to do 2 for the side and 1 for the center. So after you finish row number 30, don't cut the yarn because we're gonna be working in the side creating this. Okay, once you finish, it will look like this. Okay, you have your strip, and you're gonna work on the side and here. Okay, so we're gonna be doing this in here from the top to the bottom, and we're gonna be doing 3 single crochet in here and 1 in that single crochet here at the top of this one, 3 inside here, and 1 single crochet in the top of this one. Okay, so you need to have odd numbers, so it will be 121 that you need to have in this side here in order to work for this row in here. So if you do your 3 here and the 4 in here, you'll have 120, so you have to have 1 more. So you can do it at the end, or in any of these you can do that one as you work. Okay, so here you have a row of single crochet, here 1 row of double crochet, 1 row of single crochet, here 1 row of 1 double crochet, 1 chain and a double crochet, here a row of single crochet, here a row of 1 double crochet, chain 1, a double crochet, and a row of single crochet. So in total are 7 row in here and 7 row on the other side. Okay, so we're gonna start here, and in this side here you're gonna do 3 single crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and in here you see that row of single crochet, you're gonna go on the top and do 1, and that's your 4th. So you continue doing 4 on each, you'll have 120, so you have to have 1 more. 1, 2, and 3, and then here number 4. 1, 2, and 3, and here number 4. And you'll see that it's nice and even, no stretching, no pulling, is nice and even here. Okay, so even here, you, for example, you can do now that extra, you can do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1 here, and that's it. You don't have to do 4 in here anymore, only in 1. Okay, the rest is 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1 outside. Okay, so you have to make sure that you have your 121 if you're doing 30 row like mine. Okay, you see it's nice and straight. Here I'm gonna work on the last one, and since I did the one with 4 at the beginning, I'm gonna do this one with only 3. 1, 2, and 3, and I mean here inside that loop. Okay, 3, and then the last one I'm gonna do it here and the first chain that we did the first loop, and we finish that row, and now we have 121 single crochet, and it will be straight like this in the side. Okay, so now we're gonna do a row of double crochet. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to turn your work around, and you're going to do a double crochet on each single crochet. So this one is the first one. You go to the next one and do another one. That you second double crochet, and you're going to continue until you have 121. So that means 1 double crochet on top of each single crochet. Here I have my 121 double crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to turn my work around. I'm going to do a row of single crochet, and the row of single crochet is always done on the right side of the piece. Okay, the right side. So here I'm going to do my first single crochet, and I'm going to do a single crochet on top of each double crochet for 121 single crochet. It'll look like this. I'm going to finish here. So I don't want to do my double crochet on top of the third one. I'm going to do on top of the second one here, okay? And it's exactly the same as the other one, the same height. So here I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to turn my work around. I'm going to do yarn over. I'm going to skip the next single crochet, and I go to the other one, and I do my double crochet. Chain 1, yarn over, skip 1, and go to the next one, and do a double crochet. Chain 1, yarn over, skip this one, and go to the next one, and do a double crochet, and we start to create this row in here, okay? And it look like this. Chain 1, yarn over, skip 1, and go to the next one, and do your double crochet. Like this, you're going to finish all the way to the end, and I'll show you how to finish this row and how to start the next one. And this is row number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to finish this row with a chain, yarn over, and you're going to skip this one, and you're going to go to the last one. But I don't want to go right on top of the last one here. I'm going to go on top of the chain one that we did to create the single crochet. There is where I'm going to do my double crochet. That way it's nice and straight in here. Okay, so you're going to chain 1, turn your work around, and on top of that double crochet you're going to do a single crochet, and in the chain space you're going to do a single crochet, on top of the double crochet a single crochet, on top of the chain space a single crochet, and you're going to continue doing this until you have your 121 single crochet. So it's 1 on top of the double crochet and 1 on the chain space. And it look like this. To finish this row, I'm gonna do a single crochet in here, and I don't gonna go to the third one here. I'm gonna go to this one here, and not under but in the top here, and I'm gonna do my last single crochet, and it's nice and straight. I'm gonna chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn my work around, and we're gonna repeat what we did in this row here. So this chain here that counts as the first double crochet and the chain space is on top of this one here, so you have to skip this one and go to this one here. It's right on top of this one. So you have your double crochet parallel to the ones that you're doing now. Okay, so you're going to continue doing this all the way to the end. We have one more row of single crochet, and then we have to do the other side here. I chain 1. Now I'm going to do my double crochet at the end, and that chain space that I did to do my single crochet, I do my double crochet, chain 1, turn my work around, and I'm going to do 1 single crochet on top of that double crochet or chain space, 1 single crochet in the chain space, 1 single crochet on top of the double crochet, 1 single crochet in the chain space, and like this you're going to continue all the way to the end, and you're going to chain 1 and do a slip stitch and finish this side, and then we'll start working in the other one. For these ones here, you're going to cut a little tail and cut them, and when you pass it through you pull to secure and you go to the other side. And the one at the center, I'm going to leave a tail long enough for attaching this part to this one, and when I do to the other, go to the other side and work on the other side, I will leave a tail long enough for sewing this one to the other one. Okay, I'm going to finish here, 1 single crochet in here for the chain space, and the last one in here. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to pull that yarn long enough for sewing. This one is for the center one, the other one is just a little tail. Okay, so I'm going to measure probably like twice the length, and I'm going to cut my tail right here. And this is for the center one. So on the other side I will do exactly the same, and probably if it's not enough tail I will attach another piece, and I'm going to show you what it looks like once you finish that side. It's gorgeous. Look. So we're going to be working now in this side. It's exactly the same as this one that we did in here. We're going to work on the other side, so we have to work on the right side. So we're going to turn our work around, because this have a right and a wrong side. This is the right side here, and this one here, you see, is the wrong side. So we're going to start here where we have the tail that we made when we started with a chain of 20 for me. So we're going to start in that chain space in here. So we're going to start with a row of single crochet, and you know the row of single crochet has to be in the right side. We're going to start with a slip knot, to create that loop, and that loop will be the chain for the first single crochet. You're going to pass it here through that first chain that you did, You're gonna pass it through, and you're gonna grab the right strand of yarn, and you're gonna do the chain of 1. So at the same time I'm going to be losing these tails here, and in the same space you're going to do a single crochet. That's our first one. So here now we have to do 3, 1, 2, and 3. And remember, the fourth one is in the outside here. Okay, so here you're gonna do 3, 1, 2, and 3, and the next one, number 4, outside. And remember, in 1 you have to do 4 in here, so I'm gonna do my number 4 now, and this one's coming up. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and my 1 outside. I'm gonna continue working 3 in each loop and 1 outside all the way to the end. After that, I will do exactly what we did in here. So you have to do that row single crochet, 1 row of double crochet, 1 row single crochet, 1 row of 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, that is row here, a row single crochet, and you're going to repeat that row in here. So a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet, and 1 row of single crochet, and leave a tail for sewing and the other side at the center piece. So you have to create 2 of these panels for the outside, exactly the same, and 1 for the inside. After that, after you have your 3 panels, we'll be sewing them together. I'm going to show you the last one too, that way you see how you're going to finish. So you're going to do your 3 inside here, 1, 2, and 3, and the number 4 going to be in the first single crochet. You're going to do that one there. And it will look nice and straight here in the side as well. So now you have to do your row of double crochet, and then a row of single crochet, and then this row, and then single, this row, and single. So you have to create this and the other side. Here when you finish, you're going to cut the yarn long enough for sewing again, and it will look like this, exactly the same in the 2 sides. And here you see it's a smaller than the other ones. Okay, once you finish, we're gonna start sewing them with a tapestry needle. So you're gonna put them side by side. Let me put this one in here, and you're gonna grab this one, and you're gonna sew these here together here in this row of single crochet here. Okay, you have to make sure that they are facing the right side and the design are going the same direction, okay, when you sew them. So I'm gonna put them like this beside each other, that way you see. Let me grab the next one. I don't know if I have enough space here for this to show you. So just a second. I'm going to sew them here and here, and it will look like this. And look how gorgeous this baby blanket gonna look like. Amazing. Still very wide baby blanket. Okay, so now we're gonna sew with the tapestry needle these pieces together. Here I'm sewing with a long tail that I left here. So what I'm doing is I'm sewing in between the stitches, and here like this is what I'm sewing in 2 sides. Okay, here I already did 2 stitches or 3. They look like this. So I'm in this side. I'm gonna go, you see, in between these ones here and here, and I'm gonna pass the yarn. And since we have the same amount of stitches in both sides, it will be nice and even. So the next one is this one here, and you see in between those two here, I'm passing my needle. And I go to the next side and do exactly the same. So you're going to continue doing this all the way to the end and do the same on the other side. Here I already done a little piece, and I want to show you how the two ends look. Look how fantastic that seam is, very strong. And since we are sewing in here in the center of the stitch in here, and in the center and the other side, the only thing that you see is this strand of yarn outside here and this one in the outside here. Okay, so that's why it look amazing, this join. So you're gonna do this in here and to the other one, and then we have just to finish the border. This is what I look like once you attach those two ends together, and it look amazing. So now what I'm gonna do is attach the other one in this side. Remember, the smaller one is in the center. Once you finish attaching the 3 panels, it will look like this, and it look amazing. And now you're gonna do the borders, one in the top and one in the bottom, and it will be exactly as this one here. Okay, just one section, because this is 2 sections attached to each other. Okay, so you're gonna do one in the top and
here
one
you
in the
have a
bottom.
tail, and you'll attach your yarn in here to create this design in here at the top, and at the end here you have a tail in here as well, and you attach your yarn there to do the same design here. And it's this exactly what you do in here, you're gonna do it here, and making sure that the first row, a single crochet that you do in here, you have odd numbers. That way you have the right amount of stitches to create this design. Here I wanted to explain how many stitches I'm doing on mine. Here I start with 1, and here in the row of single crochet, and in this double crochet I did 1 single crochet. In that row of single crochet I did only 1 single crochet. In the double crochet, 1 single crochet. In the single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 1 in here in the double crochet, and 1 in the single crochet. On top of this design I'm doing only 4 single crochet on each one of them, only 4, because I don't want to have too many stitches that get too wide in the top. So here is 1 and 2. I skip number 3 and go to number 4, and I do 3 and here 4. You see? And again you go here, you do 1 and 2, skip that one and go to the next one, 3 and 4. Okay, so you're going to continue doing this all the way to the end, and then come back with your row of double crochet, making sure that these are odd numbers. You have to have odd numbers in order to create this design. And here I finished my 3rd ball of yarn, so I have this piece to finish here. So I'm glad I have more of this yarn. So I'm going to use this ball, and it weighs 164 grams. So at the end I will let you know the amount of yarn that I use. Okay, so I'm gonna finish here, and I'm gonna do a row all the way around. So this is what I look like. Let me show you on this side with that border at the beginning. I look like this, and I look amazing. So I'm gonna do a row of single crochet after I finish there all the way around an entire piece, and then I will decide if I do an edging or I leave it like this. I did that row of single crochet all the way around my blanket, and I decided to leave it like this. I don't want to do any more border, because with this
is enough all the way around. So I'm gonna lose all the tails and I will show you the end result. This is the end result, and I love this design. It looks amazing. I use 514 grams on total, and the measurements are 43 inches by 37 inches. That is 109 centimeters by 94. So it's nice and big, and it looks fantastic. So I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this piece and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman, or you can find me in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here on YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.